Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the flock. Welcome. Wow, I didn't realize this thing was going to be up like that. Okay, hopefully it didn't fuck up too bad. Welcome. Okay, there you go. Man, okay. So, anyway, welcome. We are on, we are still on Jesus Shit Talking Tour slash wellness clinic. We are on the third leg. We're on chapter 11, and there's 24 chapters. So it's like 13 chapters left or something. I don't know. I think it might be 13 chapters. I'm a lawyer when it comes to math. Or so I hear lawyers can't do math. Oh, which, you know, something that a lawyer should probably be able to do is math, seeing as, like, you know, there's a lot of numbers involved with lawyering, like how much you're going to charge, how much you get paid, how much you get owed, how much time your client's going to get for the crime that you can't get them off. How much time? Isn't that all that math? They should be better at math. But whatever. I can't talk shit because I can barely read a book. So, and I definitely can't do math, but I can barely read a book. Yay, educate me. Okay. So we're on. Okay. Okay, no, I guess we're on chapter. Okay, yeah, we're on chapter 12. And I think this part is out of place also, because I believe this happened at another time, at a different time. Or it's explained to have happened at a different time. But the journalist known as Director Dr. Luke, who knows everything according to himself, sensationalism. He's got to put the few things that he's heard about Jesus into a very coherent story for the editor of his newspaper, because these things about Jesus, these are magazine articles. This is These are news articles. They might not have called it news back then. They might not have even called it a magazine back then because, well, people could read. So I I don't know how to explain it, but these are definitely not books. These are news articles. This is written as an article or as like a short story. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm bad at explaining things. But like it's like a lot of the things that Jesus said are in they're all it's all throughout, like in all the books or whatever. But it's when he said it, where he said it, how he said it, and who he said it to is kind of what matters and what counts. But here, in the story of journalist director Dr. Luke, who knows everything, He's writing it all out of order, and he's not telling you who exactly he's saying this stuff to. He's just saying, he's saying it to random people all over the place. It doesn't matter why he said this, just matters that he said it. And apparently he said it to a lot of people, when really we know the certain things that he's saying right here. He's saying to a very specific group of people that are there. And in some of the books, they call him out on it and they're like, oh, he's talking about us. We're going to kill him. But then in this one, it's just different. It's different. This book is different than the other books. Which, in my mind, this is written for sensationalism. This is written. So he sold more copies of his version of Jesus than the other people because it's well worded, it's well put together. You know, it flows, it goes together because of the way it's written. Whereas like the other books, they're kind of choppy. It goes here and then goes here and then, it's just fast paced all the way through. Whereas the journalist known as Director Dr. Luke, he spreads it out, he slows it down, he keeps you interested, keeps you enticed. He's a journalist. He's not a doctor, he's a fucking journalist. And he wrote this for people to read and continue. Like, sell more copies than the other guy. Sell more copies of my newspaper than the other newspaper that has these other stories of Jesus. Tell me a better story of Jesus. And then we've got the journalist known as Director Dr. Luke, who knows everything according to himself. But people just believe that. So you know what? Believe me, I'm a saint. I'm the saint of awesome. Nobody else has got to say things about you. You can just say them about yourself, and then everybody will believe you. Like you can even pretend to be an apostle. Paul did it. What's stopping you from being an apostle? Nothing. Except for you. You chose not to call yourself that, so nobody else is going to call you that. But anyway, let's my nose is still running. I need some more magic water. I've ran out of magic water. I'm having visceral reactions. But I got fucking coffee, man, and I am so happy. I got coffee and sugar and milk and cigarettes, and I haven't even smoked a cigarette. But also, I haven't been up that long either. But anyway, let's go. Enough of my explaining shit I have no business explaining. Okay. Okay, so where we left off, people realized Jesus was talking shit about them. So I'm like, oh, we got to kill this guy. So then they go and they try to catch him up in word magic, right? So then it says, in the meantime, chapter 12, when an innumerable multitude of people had gathered together, so they trampled one another, and he began to say to his disciples, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. Okay, this. We remember this story, right? because the disciples were like, we don't know what the fuck that means. But in Luke's story, apparently makes it known to them what it means. And this really fucking aggravates me because this is not what happened. And I don't know if Luke is just assuming his readers are uneducated barbarians and they couldn't figure out what it meant or whatever, or he couldn't fit it in later in the story like the other ones did about how they argued with themselves and they didn't know. And then he's like, you idiots, this is what it means. No. He's saying right here that Jesus, in front of everyone, told them what his riddles mean. When we know with Jesus' personality, that is not what happened. Just Jesus being Jesus would have never done this, in my personal opinion. But I've been reading about Jesus for a long time, and this is not a Jesus personality thing. This is not a thing. But we're going to assume it's a thing because director Dr. Luke is smarter than everybody. Because he said so, by the way. But director Dr. Luke, who is smarter than everybody because he said so. Wait, he just said, no, Jesus, again, doesn't care about what his rules are. He'll just change his rules in the middle of changing rules. It's like, that's not a Jesus thing, but okay. So Jesus said, beware of the leavens of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. For there is nothing covered that will not be revealed, nor hidden that will not be known. Therefore, whatever you have spoken in the dark will be heard in the light. And when you have and what you have spoken in the ear in inner rooms will be proclaimed on housetops. That's not what he said. He said, whatever you hear from me in this room, proclaim on housetops. Or it was different words, but it meant like whatever I tell you, you go tell everybody else. But Jesus here is like, oh, like if you're trying to hide things or keep secrets, it'll be spoken on the rooftops. That's not what Jesus said. Jesus was talking about what he said. Go proclaim it on housetops. But again, I don't fucking know. Somebody else might know. I don't know. Wait, something's is happening. Something's is happening. My friend, tell me again. What the fuck? Something is happening to me, my friend. Damn it. This is not cool to me right now. What's happening and the shit is just not cool. There. Now it's happening and now it's just cool. Okay. Now I can see everything. Yay. 6. Okay. I need to get off my soapbox. I am. Well, okay. I'm not on my soapbox. Well, I kind of am on my soapbox. I just. There's so many things that I'm thinking. Hold on. Man, I got so much shit going on in my head right now. I can't even concentrate. Well, okay, I can concentrate. No, I can't. I'm lying my ass off. Like, I've been on such an emotional roller coaster ride for like the past like 2 weeks, and things have been like, ah, boggling me. And then things got better, and like, I've been reeling from it since like yesterday. I can't calm down. And now I can't even read right because I can't calm down. I couldn't argue right. I still can't argue right, and I'm not even going to try to. And I'm supposed to be live streaming with my mom in like an hour. And mm-mm. I can't get through this. I can't get through this right now. I, and I need to get through it because it's highly important to get through it. But then again, it's kind of like I don't even want to. Which is exactly why I should, by the way, because I don't want to. Which is exactly why I'm going to finish it because I don't want to, because there's something in here I need to know. And the devil's trying to keep me away from it. Mm, mm-mm. I don't know. But I do know I can't concentrate on this shit right now. So my hands are shaking. Oh, they're kind of shaking like a little bit. Like my my month is, I don't know. I've been on an emotional roller coaster. And now I'm reeling because it's not exactly over, but it's slowed down. So, like my heart is pounding. I'm just still like that. Like, like when your body is so tense and then you get to loosen it up, but it's still real jittery on the inside. That's kind of like what I am right now. And I can't concentrate. And I'm supposed to be watching this movie with my mom, Pink Floyd The Wall. But I need to do this. Oh my god. So long. Okay. Okay. So anyway, Jesus was like, Jesus, take the wheel indeed. And as a matter of fact, I don't even have Jesus in a spaceship right here. But Jesus did take the wheel. Miss Muddy, did you hear what happened? I'll tell you. How I've been freaking out about my house and the rent and not having any food and not pretty much not being able to do anything. Everything was going to fall apart. And then just out of the blue, it just answers came, things happened. And it was like, oh, yeah. But I'm still reeling from that. I'm emotionally jacked up. Oh, yeah. Like I'm jacked up. Like I can't concentrate. I can't I can't get unexcited. And it's not even excited like yippee. I mean it is, but it's kind of like my bones are excited for no real reason. But I'm telling you what, Jesus driving this spaceship is probably the greatest thing ever. Well, it is the greatest thing ever. Okay. Anyway, so is that cat hair? There's cat hair all over my stuff. Great. Anyway, yeah, my spirit is inside me like it's on steroids, like just constant. Yeah, just like there's a little Beavis inside my bones. It's like cornholio, cornholio. You know, like I dippy for your bunghole. You know, I'll be like, that's what my bones are doing right now. Like, they're just emotionally crashing. And I bet well, actually, I slept for a long time today, but I'm still like, I bet tomorrow won't be like that. I can't concentrate. I'm supposed to be reading this book right now. But Miss Mud Duck, if you felt like it, you could send me some of those honey buns you made in your oven. Those pictures looked amazing. Or that the picture of those little cinnamon roll things that you made look just like honey buns and they look amazing and I want one. So just wrap one of those up in a baggie and stick it in there with that coffee cup. Well, put it inside the coffee cup and wrap it in those clothes and then send it to my house and I will eat the fuck out of it because I love food. Actually, I say that and I probably haven't eaten in like 3 weeks. Not exactly true. I did eat. I just don't eat a lot of food. But you wouldn't be able to tell that because I'm fat as hell. But I think I'm fat as hell because I don't eat a lot. But what I do eat is not very good and not on time. So I'm fat because I'm unhealthy, not because I eat too much. Something like that. See what I'm saying? I can't concentrate. I'm just saying random shit now. I don't know what's happening. But we gotta read director Dr. Luke, who's the smartest because he said so. Don't give me those eyeballs, Miss Muddy. Don't give me those eyeballs. I know you're watching me. I always feel like Miss Mudduck's watching me, and I get no prophecy. Yeah. I just put you in a song, Miss Muddy. So, let's read about director Dr. Luke. Oh my God. You know, when I was doing this, when I was doing a lot of cocaine, my nose never ran this much. But now that I'm sober, right? Now that I'm sober, my nose won't stop running. So then it always is like, she's got post nasal drip. Fucking cokehead. It's like, no, that post nasal drip shit is for the birds. But I haven't had any tonic water, and I think my body's reacting to it. Not having any of that antiviral shit in my system anymore. It's fucking me up. Shut up and read. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. But my nose, I told you I can't concentrate. Things are happening. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I'm getting back on my rocker. Here we go. Okay. So, in the meantime, so while they were plotting to delete him from his own dad's YouTube, there was an innumerable amount of people gathered together. But he began to say to his disciples, first of all, okay, so he was whispering to him. He's like, hey, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people around here, but I need to tell you 12 specifically, but nobody else can hear. So we gotta talk real low. Yeah. But mostly because this didn't happen at this time. But we're gonna say it did because sensationalism. Jesus talking real quiet, okay? And he said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy, which he did not say, by the way. Just Jesus would have never done this. There are many things that Jesus did, but this is not one of them. This isn't even close to his personality. He would have never said anything this regular in front of people outside of being in a room with these 12 people. He wouldn't have done it. Okay. For there is nothing covered that will not be revealed, nor hidden that will not be known. Therefore, whatever you have spoken in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the ear in inner rooms will be proclaimed on the housetops. Actually, it's whatever you hear in the inner rooms, go speak on the housetops. He told them to do that. And I'm telling you, my friends, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, and after that, have no more they can do. But I will show you whom you should fear. Fear him who, after he is killed, has power to cast into hell. Listen, I'm telling you, hear him. Because he is the man. He is the guy. He is the man. He is the guy, man. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies, and not one of them is forgotten? But the very heads of your head are all numbered. Do not fear. Do not fear. Therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. Because listen, I'm telling you, whoever confesses me before men, him, the Son of Man, will also confess before the angels of God. But he who denies me before men will be denied before the angels of God. Peter! Now, Christians say Jesus changed his rules for Peter. Like, this is literally Jesus's rule. And they're like, no, Jesus wasn't talking about Peter because he already knew about Peter. Do you think Jesus would have said this if Peter didn't count? Jesus would have never said this if he didn't mean it. I don't care. Like I said yesterday, I will argue with anybody over the book of Jesus. I don't give a shit. Because Jesus says why he denied his family and what's going to happen to Peter. Jesus tells you these things. It's up to you to see them. But because nobody wants to see Jesus as the kind of person he is, regular, they're like, no. Jesus didn't make. Jesus is so kind. He's so sweet. He's so nice. Jesus, so nice. He's a nice guy. He's so nice that he will change his rules in the middle of the game for his friends. No. Jesus is telling you right here. And he even tells you later in the story when he tells Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times. And then Peter feels bad because he remembers, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to hell. And then everybody's like, but Jesus came back to Peter. I think they made that up. I don't think he did that at all. And I don't believe Jesus changed his rules in the middle of the game to fit some guy who's pretending to be his friend. I don't think so. And you can't convince me otherwise because Jesus just said it right here. You deny me, I will deny you. And just when he shit on his family, the people who do the work of God are my mothers and brothers, meaning his family does not do the things of God. So they're not his family. Oh, but Jesus don't mean that. Why would he say it if he didn't mean it? I don't know, but see what I'm saying? I can't concentrate. Hey, Razor, are you still alive? Okay. Anyway, I need to concentrate. I can't concentrate. And anyone who speaks a word against the Son of Man, it will be forgiven. But to him who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven. What does that even mean? Now, when they bring you to the synagogues, the magistrates, the authorities, do not worry how or what you will answer because the Holy Spirit's going to do it for you. Then one came from the crowd and said, tell my brother to divide a inheritance with me. And Jesus is like, who made me judge? I'm not judge. I mean, I literally just said I'm the judge, but I'm the judge of the afterlife. I'm not the judge of in life. I don't have the judge. I'm not the in life judge. I'm the angel judge, not the people judge. So you'll have to figure that out. That's not what Jesus said. But Jesus was like, take heed and beware of covetousness, For one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses. Then he spoke a parable, saying, the ground of a certain rich man yielded plentifully, and he thought to himself, saying, what shall I do, since I have no room to store my crops? He said, I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there I will store my crops and my goods, and I will say to my soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, listen, your soul will be required of you. Then whose will those things be which you have provided? So it is he who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards God. Okay. Then he said to his disciples, listen, I'm telling you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will put on. It is great to be naked. No, I'm just kidding. Life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. Consider the ravens, for they neither row nor sow nor reap. They neither have storehouse or barn, and God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? And which of you, by worrying, can add 1 cubit to his stature? If you, then, are not able to do the least, why are you anxious for the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I say to you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothes the grass, which today is in a field and tomorrow in an oven, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith? And do not seek what you should eat or drink, nor have an anxious mind. For all these things the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knows you need these things. But seek the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you. Do not fear, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell what you have and give alms. Provide yourselves money bags. Provide yourselves money bags which do not grow old, a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief approaches or moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Yeah. Let your waist be girded, and your lamps burning, and yourselves be like men who wait for their master when he will return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they may open him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, will find watching. Listen, I'm telling you that he will gird himself and have them sit down to eat, and he will come and serve them. And if he should come in the second watch or in the third and find them so, blessed are those servants. But know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his stuff to be taken. Therefore, you also be ready. Don't get ready, stay ready. It's like that. Don't get ready, stay ready. What's up? Yeah, you gotta be ready. Bam. Always be wearing your shoes and have a coat handy. Definitely be ready. Okay. Fucking Peter. Okay. Then Peter said, Lord, why do you speak this parable only to us or to all people? No, not say that shit in the beginning. He group full of people, but was whispering to the 12. He didn't tell them what any, or Peter wouldn't have said that because that whole thing was a parable. He didn't tell them what any of that meant in front of anybody. And then Jesus ignored him, said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward whom his master will make ruler over his household to give them their portion of food in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Because listen, I'm telling you that he will make him ruler over all he has. But if that servant says in his heart, My master is delaying in coming, and begins to beat the male and female slaves and eat and drink and be drunk, the master of that servant will come on a day when he is not looking, and an hour where he is not aware, and will cut him in two and appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant who knew his master's will and did not prepare himself or do according to his will shall be beaten with many stripes. YouTube is glitching. Damn it. Hold on, Razor. Then he is not looking for him. Beaten with. But he who did not know, yet committed things deserving of stripes, shall be beaten with few. Hold on. For his unbelievers. And that servant who knew his master's will and did not prepare himself or do according will be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know, yet committed things deserving of stripes, shall be beaten with few. For everyone to whom much is given, from him much will be required. And to whom much has been committed, much is of him more will be asked. Something like that. Hi, Robert. Now, Jesus continues, I came to send fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. Because somebody stole my God watch. When did Jesus say this? And who did he say it to? And in which lesson? Because sensationalism. Hi, Blue. I came to send fire on the earth. And how I wish it were already kindled. But I have a baptism to be baptized with. And how distressed I am till it is accomplished. I know. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Is that better? How I wish it were kindled already. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how distressed I am until it's accomplished. Do you suppose that I came to give peace on earth? Damn. Did she make me bleed? That hurts. Ow. I don't think I'm bleeding, but damn, that hurt. Okay. Do you suppose that I came to give peace on earth? Yeah. And people who say this about Jesus, it's like, have you ever read about that guy? Jesus is not being peaceful. I don't know. My head is bleeding, ain't it? Right there. Damn, she got me good. Did you see her little nail get stuck in my skin? Asshole. Okay. Okay. Do you suppose I came to give peace on earth? I'm telling you. Nope. I came to fuck shit up. Uh, Super cat. She is. I'm on Luke 12. Well, the end of Luke 12, where Jesus is like, oh, dude, I've come to fuck shit up. Like, I have come to mess everything up. I didn't come to be a nice guy. I didn't come to do nice things. I came to show y'all how y'all were fucking up. And part of you are going to believe me, and part of you aren't. And everybody is going to be arguing with everybody because of me, and it's going to be great. And I'm going to love every second of it because some people are going to be vehemently, Jesus is no Jesus. And then other people are going to be like, oh, but there is a Jesus. And then they're going to fight. And I'm going to be eating my popcorn. And it's going to be great. Then he said to the multitudes, whenever you see a cloud rising out of the west, you say, there's going to be rain. And then it is. And then when you see the south wind blow, you're like, oh, it's about to be hot as shit. But listen, dickheads, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how it is it you do not discern the time? Because it is in the rules to not discern the times. They're not supposed to know the times. I'm pretty sure that is a rule because I was like, yeah, but Jesus. And they don't follow any other rule, by the way. They don't follow any other rules. But for some reason, they followed that rule of don't discern the times. Something like that. And then he continues and he says, why? Even yourselves, do you not judge what is right? When you go with your adversary to the court, try to settle outside of court before you go to court. Because if you don't, you're probably going to be thrown in jail and you won't be able to leave jail until you paid the whole thing off. But because you make 19 cents an hour in jail, you're never paying off that restitution. So get comfy in prison. And that is the end of chapter 12. Chapter 12. But I do know that I will reread this tomorrow because I am so I can't concentrate today. Like my body is just way too excited for no reason. I feel like something bad's gonna happen because I feel so good. I don't know. But I do know that Razor over here on Pilled. I'll share my screen so everybody can see what I'm about to be talking about for a second. Ow, itchy feet. My feet. My feet. Ah, man. I don't know, but this new medication makes my feet hurt. I don't know what it is, but they just tingle and then they burn. Like I was just talking about my bones being all shaky and shit that's happening in my feet right now. Ah, my fucking toes. Okay. Um, Razor said, those who repent will have eternal life. Yes, yes. Not all souls will be recycled. See, I think that too. Because the Christians always talk about rejuvenation, right? And, in the Bible, it's like, uh, it's time to end. Uh, Damn, now I don't even remember. See what I'm saying? I can't concentrate. I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay. There's too much stuff going on in my head right now. There's, I can't even comment on that because I don't remember. And I was thinking about it this whole time too, and now I can't remember it. My brain is thinking too much. But Robert, are you still here? What do you think about all this stuff? Damn. Here we go. Words and things. I don't know. But um Dustin and them are about to be home I can't concentrate. I did my dishes yesterday. I'm supposed to be doing laundry, but I needed to get this out of the way. But I can't even get this out of the way because I can't even concentrate on it. So maybe I should just go concentrate on my laundry. Maybe I can concentrate on laundry and I don't know. Damn. I'm just so happy and so anxious at the same time right now because I feel so good. I know something bad's about to happen. That's why usually when I feel good, something bad's about to happen. And I don't even want to imagine what it is because I know whatever bad thing that's about to happen is about to completely crush my soul. I don't know. I mostly just made that up. Mostly made it up. But I'm sorry for my reading all over the place today, but I can't concentrate. But I promise I'll redo it tomorrow the right way because I probably won't be feeling all jittery and, because things actually did get taken care of and things are actually better and I do have food. Yeah, it's a real problem that I was having. But anyway, I promise I'll redo it tomorrow the right way. But I don't even know the name of that word. Uh, Not discombobulated, distracted. I am highly distracted. I'm like a squirrel right now. Anyway, anyway, enough of my crazy shit. Razor, are you still live? Who's still live right now? We'll go over here and look on Pilled. Who's still live? Here we go. Set raid. Death by Rust. Razor! Wow! You got 47 people on your thing now. That is the largest amount ever. Are you sure you need me to raid you? Wow, that's crazy, Razor. I'm so happy for you. That's pretty cool. You got 47 people on there. But would you be mad if I didn't go to you this time and went up here to the person that has 4? Uh, o- okay. Well, you know what? Mm, I don't. Mm, okay. You know what? Yeah. I'll just do you, and then when I go live with my mom, I'll go to Madness. Okay. So we'll go live to you right now, and then when I go live with my mom, we'll go to Madness. That works. Okay. I will be at church most of the day. Okay. But Miss Mudduck, do you have anything on your mind, real quick? Anything you want to talk about? Except for why is it every time I get on camera, I always feel like something's on my nose, or you guys can see my nose running. My nose is running, but I don't think you can see it. I got a giant booger in my nose. Could you imagine if I did my whole stream with a booger hanging out of my nose? I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure out how to do that. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to read the Bible with a giant booger on my nose. I'm going to get some of that slime stuff and figure out how to put it in my nose. That'd be so awesome. I'm going to start doing that from now on. Instead of imagining things on my face, because usually I'm just imagining things on my face, I'm just going to start putting things on my face. That's going to be how I work my gimmicks from now on. My new gimmick is going to be a wig, a hat, a giant ass booger in my nose. That's going to be my action figure. Anyway, I'm done talking shit to myself. Anyway, I love you guys. I love you guys so much, and I will see you later on. I forgot I had to live stream with my mom. I could have just live streamed with my mom, but I wouldn't have been able to concentrate then either. Anyway, I'm gonna call my mom and figure out what we're gonna do now. Anyway, I love you guys.